I'm Wendy Bale, a visual artist in Jamestown, New York. I'm here in the workshop with my husband, Sandhill Bill, and we're going to take you behind the scenes in Riparian Zone, up and down the riverbank, our show at the Crary Art Gallery here in Warren, Pennsylvania. Hey Bill, what do you say we do a little 10 in 10? Do you think we can do 10 questions and 10 answers in under 10 minutes?
We can do it. Maybe you should start with telling us how the Riparian Zone theme came to be.
While you were exploring the shapes of the rivers to inspire your river-themed furniture, I became fascinated with the habitat that was bordering the waterways. I love all the animals and the plants found along the edge of the creeks. I think it was an extension of that research that led to this series of drawings and paper sculptures. One of the first things that people notice about your work is the beautiful wood. Where do you get those slabs?
Most of the slabs in the show came from a fellow deep in the woods of Potter County, Pennsylvania. And a few others have been gathered here and there through other places in New York and Pennsylvania. Well, you asked me about the materials I use. Tell me about the papers that you use.
I use just about any kind of archival papers for my paper sculptures. I really like the handmade papers and the mulberry papers, and and I even use rock paper, which is a paper made out of minerals. I just love paper. Even if I'm just doing a single color, like say a black crow, I'll use shiny black paper, I'll use dull black paper, I'll use fuzzy black paper.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
All right, so that's a little bit about my process. So tell me a little bit about the process that you use to make your river tables.
Well, at first I was carving rivers in the slabs with router or grinders or chisels. Then I started cutting them in half to have a smooth outside edge, which put what would be the bark as the riverbank. And then I fill it with epoxy and stones. And voila, we have a river. I start pouring in the epoxy. I pour a very thin layer at a time. I put one in first, get it all kind of held together. Then I lay in the stones. This here has about 20 layers of epoxy on it. I know you take the camera everywhere we go. What do you do with all those photos?
Well, I know it does slow down our hikes a little bit, doesn't it? I take photos and videos for reference of my artwork, but I also use it for making my Monday movies, which I publish on social media and YouTube. I've got over 100 of them on YouTube.
Wow, that's a lot of videos.
Now that you've retired from doing art fairs with your Sandhill Designs furniture, what do you miss about that experience, Bill?
I miss the travel. Customers were always entertaining. And going out for breakfast early in the morning with the art fair buddies was always a highlight. Meeting new friends is great. You've met a lot of people researching this project, haven't you?
I've always considered myself someone concerned with the environment, but I am no scientist. For this show, I've consulted a lot of people who are knowledgeable professionals, many of whom have contributed essays to Riparian Zone, the companion to the show. Quotes from their essays are hanging in the gallery. This 50-page magazine is for sale, and the profits from it are all going to the Allegheny River cleanup.
That's a great collaboration.
Speaking of collaborations, people are always asking what it's like being a husband and wife team and collaborating. Maybe you'd like to field that one.
You mean ever since you invaded my workspace, right?
Yeah.
Well, having you move the charcoal studio in my shop was really quite interesting. It was really neat to see things come alive.
Especially that scroll. It was so cool to watch it come to life as you went down the river.
So would you say the scroll is your favorite piece in the show?
Well, it certainly is the defining piece of the show. I designed this piece to be like experiencing floating down the river in a kayak and watching the Riparian Zone just floating by you with all of the plants and the animals and the ferns and
the yard flamingos.
Well, I wanted to contrast it with what happens when you don't have a healthy riparian zone. I really think Sarah Hatfield said it so well when she said the best way to understand a riparian zone is to experience its absence. Hey Bill, I got one more question for you. When you're not out here making furniture, where's your happy place?
That's easy. In my kayak, on the water. Thanks for coming to the gallery today. We hope to see you in the Riparian Zone.